Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. It was a crazy weekend for CSGO news. I just tweeted at McDonald's regarding a CSGO news episode, so I hope you guys all do enjoy. That's just how crazy it was. First of all though, I want to make note, guys, we're actually going to a gaming and music festival here in October based in Las Vegas. If you guys want to actually enter for free for $150 music and gaming festival tickets, that link will be down below. If you want to meet me as well, if you guys are based in the Las Vegas area or here on the West Coast and do want to go, we'll be there, the entire team. On top of that, I want to apologize to all the G2 fans out there. I did my pick'em video. I'll link it down below for all of you guys. I did that yesterday. I didn't choose G2, and I pissed off a lot of you guys. I never choose them though for major pick'ems, and so it's a reoccurring theme. Like about twice a year now, everyone hates on me for not picking G2. I want to apologize to you guys. I don't hate G2, okay? I just don't believe in them currently where they are. So I hope you guys all enjoy. It's going to be a crazy CSGO news episode. Speaking of crazy, the one time I got an inside source, and of course Decay does break that story. If you guys did watch my video yesterday, you know about this. That's going to be ENCE roster changes. Details for all of you guys. I will tell you what I know, as well as link Decay's article down below for all of you guys. It will be SuNny replacing Alexi B on that roster following the major, but details as to behind the scenes, I do trust my source. I also trust Decay and his source as well on this topic, guys. It will be ENCE making roster changes, although it's probably not what you expected. Reading the comments, people thought Ariel or X7 would probably be replacements because Alexi's not really on the tip of your tongue when it comes terms stats-wise or skill-wise as to someone who you would replace. Other rumors out there or comments I did see is people think that he must have a big buyout offer or a big offer from another team out there. As of right now, that is not true. It seems to be a personality issue and a bit of a team issue as to why he's being kicked. Actually, apparently, according to the inside source as well, he was lacking motivation ever since the team let him know he would be the one being kicked and replaced on the roster by SuNny following the major. Now, it will also be Alu to be the official IGL of the roster following the major as well, and that is all we know. I know a few other details, minor details that probably don't need to be shared about this, and again, I do trust my source. I've seen a lot of people out there denying the fact that this trade will go through, and those are the hardcore ENCE fans. I'm not going to bother you guys. I'm not going to blame you guys. We will just have to see post-major what does happen. I do believe, though, I am fairly certain that yes, ENCE will be making roster changes. SuNny will be on that roster, and Alexi B will be on the bench. You guys can believe what you want, though, and after the major, we'll see what happens. But another CSGO news out there, guys, as well. We have a brand new Olofboost on Overpass, and I love people like this. I will link their video down below, guys. Apparently, the Exploit Mafia have now found a new run boost, yeah, on Overpass. Actually, on A site, you can all see all the way over to B site, and this certainly could be exploited, and it's pretty crazy. People are so dedicated to finding these kind of things, and it's always a throwback, of course, to the Olofboost, guys, which resulted in some pretty hairy things many years ago now. So I think it's just so funny to see people out there that love the game so much that they honestly only search for these little things. Now, there are two questions though going forward, and I asked you guys in the comment section down below. One, will pro players and teams try and use this for the major? Or two, will Valve actually patch this before the major as well, because it is so exploitable, and it could be a very good boost and a solid boost for many teams out there, which we've seen quite a few boosts, whether they're running jump boosts, you know, with Big Clan, or whether they are the Olofboost and other things mentioned in between as well. Will this be used in the major, or will it be fixed before the major? Either way, though, that video will be linked down below, guys, because it's just pretty cool. Also, in very big news, expect a full video on this tomorrow, guys. The NIP situation does continue, and it gets all the more crazy. I just have so much esports and CSGO news to cover today. I'm gonna make a full video for you guys tomorrow about this, and I really do thank you guys because it's been such a crazy weekend. I love Mondays and Tuesdays. There are so many videos to talk about, this one being one of them. This past weekend, Fifflaren took back to Twitter to call out further NIP management and owners. We actually do have a response from the former CEO, that being Nicholas. He has all but cleared his name and now placed the blame, not himself, but indirectly has now placed the blame on 3 others, guys. One of them is going to be Heaton. We've talked about him in the past as well. We've also talked about Heaton. His name was also brought up on top of that, as well as another name known as Hemler, apparently going to be involved in this scandal, guys, going forward. And it seems that some blame, a lot of it actually being placed on Heaton for being a bit scandalous in the NIP NIP situation. Now, when he did actually take to Twitter, though, he actually mentioned the name Potty. Potty is a legendary 1.6 name and now retired CSGO pro and the co-founder, the former co-founder of Ninjas in Pajamas, guys. Fifflaren actually took to Twitter to say that he hopes that Potty is not involved in this scandal, and he didn't really call him out for anything. But with that, a few fanatic NIP fans, and I use fanatic in a bad term, guys, the hardcore fans apparently sending Potty death threats because of this. Who sends death threats? I'm not going to try and get pissed off here, but who of you actually watching? Yes, we hear about this all the time, right? We talk about a lot of big cases out there, a lot of controversial cases, and a lot of times we hear about people receiving death threats. You know, back in the day when I called out FaZe Clan, I received death threats, and I ask you guys this: when it comes to an NIP situation, which we are not directly involved in, right? We are outsiders, we looking on the topic. Who out there, as just a fan of the CSGO team, is actually sending an old, retired 1.6 pro player death threats because they think he might be involved in this? Who is taking the time to write the email, send the tweet, send the text? It baffles me there's people that are that dumb about this, but here is Get Right response about this, guys. Not a huge response, but the only response we'll probably ever receive on this situation until it's cleared over in the distant future.
And I have no problem to be angry if it's necessary, at least for myself.
Are you ready?
And especially when I get a call from a good friend of mine who says he's getting death threats because he's a friend of Heaton. That doesn't make any sense if you ask me. He's a friend. He has nothing to do with that's writing out.
So pretty much Get Right, you know, like anyone else out there, is saying it's pretty crazy that his friend, who is not involved to all of our knowledge out there, that being Potty, he was referring to Potty, not to Heaton, I do believe, in this case. Heaton is going to have his own response, which it will be coming sometime soon, according to his own Twitter. But yes, he was talking about his very own friend Potty, who's not been involved, who's been receiving death threats for this. I beg you guys, do not do that. Watch it from an outside perspective. Enjoy the videos for what they are, but don't take action. It's not your doing to take action here, guys. Let it go to court. Let it be done between the people who are actually involved. Please, I beg you, and I know a lot of you, I'm pretty sure all of you guys who watch this video, or at least I hope, are not the ones doing the death threats. And very lastly, guys, in CSGO news for today, and again, come back tomorrow if you guys are just CSGO news fans. There is so much stuff going on. I'll break it down in videos for you guys tomorrow. But EPL relegations were this past weekend for both Europe as well as NA, guys, and it was heartbreaking across both of them. We're first going to go to EU. Speaking of NIP, guys, NIP grabbed the last relegation EPL spot, and I mean just barely. It was actually, they lost their opening best of 3 to Heretics. Heretics eventually lost to Wendigo. Wendigo took your first EPL spot. Well-deserved. Congrats to that roster. Now, speaking of Heretics, though, in the second round finals, they also lost to Team Sprout. Sprout also beat NIP. Sprout takes your second EPL spot for you. And then very lastly, in the very last chance, guys, Heretics faces off against NIP once again, and NIP take them down in their second best of 3. Heretics had 3 shots at an EPL spot. That's the former 3D Max, guys, and I just feel so terribly for them. They beat NIP off the GIF, and they actually lose to Wendigo. Then they lose to Sprout, who eventually takes their spot as well. Every team Heretics lost to, they took an EPL spot, and just barely, a relatively close series, they lose it out to NIP. NIP grabbed that last EPL spot. Now, also, speaking of heartbreaking, if you guys are NA fans out there, any diehard Singularity fans who know the story of Floppy, Singularity, and ESEA Advanced, their story and their streak sadly continues, as unfortunately enough, guys, Singularity had their shot against Lazarus. Unfortunately enough, Lazarus did take them down. Lazarus take your first EPL spot, and eventually it's actually, I believe it was Singularity who lost to ATK in a super close series. ATK took one map in overtime as well as the last map, I think 16-11. Singularity lost there in the semifinals. ATK eventually goes on to play Envy for the second last spot. Envy does take down ATK. So Singularity was probably not a favorite to actually make EPL, but they had the shot almost twice to make it. Unfortunately enough, Floppy and his streak with ESEA Advanced does continue, and that breaks my heart because I thought they were one of the teams, especially if you guys remember the controversy between them not getting the spot, and I think it was LG who was given the spot, even though Singularity had a higher ranking and actually determined in last season they actually deserved that spot anyway. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, that probably sounded very confusing. Either way, though, Singularity and Floppy, their streak does continue, and it's super sad. I really hope the best for that guy. ESL Pro League Season 11, I cross my fingers. But as always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be breaking down esports esports news here all day long. It's just insane day of news. I'll be back here tomorrow, though, breaking down at least one episode of CSGO news, if not two, including our NIP story. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves. Drink some coffee, all right? I know a lot of comments say they actually drink coffee while watching these videos, and that makes me happy because I'm going to drink some coffee too. I will see you guys tomorrow or sometime soon. Until then, take care.